Okay, so we are live. Not yet. We're live? Perfect. Okay. Greetings, Next Earthians.
Welcome.
It's been a while since we met.
Yeah, when was the last time?
I think we were already this year, probably around January, end of January sometimes. So definitely almost 3 months until the last live. So it was time.
Before we get into that, just because we have history with this, I'm just gonna check the chat and Discord to see if everybody can hear and see us well.
Oh yes, of course. And I'm gonna take this of water away from me.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. No, it was weak. It was weak.
Is this working? Is this live? Very good. I can hear someone. Yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, my Discord finally set up itself. I just started it like 10 minutes ago and it decided to refresh itself.
Yeah, kind of the slowest.
Okay, so I'm also on Discord too. Okay, so greeting Next Earthians. I'm here with Mr. David Taylor, as usual, and today we are going to be covering two major topics. The one is AI, and the other one is NEOS. And of course, we're going to have a +1, as usual.
Yeah.
The rest.
As always.
With questions, Q&A, and everything that you need and would like to see today. So, I would jump.
There's a new link. The old link wasn't working, which caused a bit of a stir. So
no, again, new link.
Let's just
come on, guys.
Kind of have like 2 minutes of talk while people move on from the old link to the new link, because the new link has just been shared on Discord.
Okay. Do you have a joke to take the time away? Oh, that's a real unfair question, right?
Yeah.
Ask ChatGPT.
That's what I want to do.
Give me a joke with ChatGPT, please.
Let's load it first. What's going on with the internet now? Okay, there's it.
Okay, the usual live structure.
So, this is literally one of the worst jokes. I mean, if this is like, why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
No, that's actually pretty good. I haven't heard that. I have never heard that before.
A million times.
I have never heard that before.
Okay, I can see a bunch of people coming in,
How many?
adding comments. We have, okay, there you go. We have 35 watching now.
How many on the old link? Do you see that?
No, I don't see it. This is the old link. There are 25 waiting.
I saw that it's 7,000, but that's the subscribers. Okay.
Here's the new link. Okay. Let's go. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Should we wait for some or should
No. I think we're gonna jump into it anyway because
there's a recording, people
everybody will be able
watch
to
it
see it
back,
afterwards. Okay, so the first major topic is going to be AI, my personal new favorite, and to just give some background to the whole AI topic and why we deep dived into it from the metaverse sector is that after ChatGPT was released, like we were always kind of familiar with AI and we know a lot of people, so we have a good network and know-how inside of AI, but it was
run an AI company like 8 years ago. So.
but it was never that operatively close, so we can integrate it into the platform or kind of use it in our everyday work. So with the large language models entering the market, this became like a booster to this ecosystem. And what we saw at first glance that AI can like give a huge boost to the fair digital life, the concept we want to arrange with Next Earth and with the metaverse itself. And we saw that it's not just about the economy, which itself with Neos is going to be the other half of this whole discussion, but your avatar, your digital avatar, your AI identity, that's something that I think it's a limitless possibility in the future. Creating the content, community created content with AI, obviously we already see the Midjourney. Yeah, creation in general. I mean, we already had the Midjourney competition on Next Earth, and I've seen some pretty amazing pictures already created. So I can't wait to see where that kind of tech hits in, where you can start creating your own like Unreal 5 type of metaverse universe, like what everybody wants to see. And of course, we saw that AI is going to be a booster for this, an accelerator for all of this. So we kind of deep dived into it. Honestly, I can say that David basically deep dived into it.
Before you continue, I'm getting reports that my microphone is very low, has a very low sound. So can we check that?
Yeah, probably that's because I am talking. No?
No. Just before I started talking, right before you started talking, people were saying that my microphone has a lot lower volume than yours.
Maybe next time we should test this before, right? Like this ain't first, right? This ain't first. Okay.
This is no first.
Yeah, it kind of gets us warming up, right? First 5 minutes ain't easy. All right, so back to all of this. By January, as you last heard in our live stream, we decided to go into this segment and start this venture studio type of model with Next Earth AI Labs. And we have pretty good promising projects. Some of them already launched, but majority of them are kind of like in the works. And we're going to talk about a few of these, but as we moved into this segment, what I saw strategically, overall speaking, is that even though we are developing Neos in the background, what I saw is that Web3 was kind of, let's say it in a bearish way, was kind of like dead, because it's a bear market. Like nobody's really interested in Web3 and metaverse, right? It's not a calling word. But what we saw that AI was basically thriving, even though there is basically a global recession going on, but everything that was associated with AI was thriving. So what we decided is that we want to enter this segment because we need life later on for this metaverse. That's why we are doing it. That's why we want to do the business metaverse. And AI companies were behaving in a way that metaverse and Web3 companies were behaving when we started all of this in the middle of the bull market. So when we deep dived into it, we realized that there is like a huge race going on, and we can easily monetize on it and arrange the structures we want to create. And out of basically, we can say nowhere, because we were doing software as a service kind of projects, came PromMaster. And we realized that education is going to be our right strategy, not just implementing companies one after another and going into the fight, into the playground of everybody who's joining the AI race, basically. But with education, we will be able to kind of oversee all of this and kind of support everybody that is entering this market, who wants to get involved with it, give education, information, and basically create a system, which we're going to be talking about later on, that can jumpstart also Neos itself. So PromMaster was actually introduced, if I know right, yesterday. Right? We had some news rolling out.
Yeah, sometime this week.
Yeah, because they had this fun prompt engineer course, which was created by Dave Talash, and of course your assistant and some major AI minds on the market. And actually I did it personally, and every Next Earth employee also did it. And it just gave us a boost in output and in efficiency. So we decided to kind of see this more closely, all of this, what's inside of it. And David is really, really deeply integrated into its everyday development. And what I've seen is that the PromMaster course, which is available from yesterday on the pre-sale, is something that is like really, really huge itself. and it's a must for everybody. And I think we're going to be talking in more detail about that on a different live. We won't deep dive into it.
Yeah, don't hijack our current live, because I think AI itself as the topic, I'm kind of purposefully trying to avoid going into that rabbit hole, because then we will probably stay here for the next 5 hours or so. But there is just one thing that I want to say about this, and that's the connection that you just said. And I think you mentioned a few really important points on why AI is... Oh, someone says I'm muted.
No, you are not muted, but your line is not active. They can hear you from your microphone.
Okay.
No, really.
Give it to me, baby.
Oh my God.
Hello.
That's gonna be a special live.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Okay, 1 second.
Could you unplug
Yeah.
your mic?
Okay.
Maybe that's the
A
problem.
bit of a... No. Is it working?
Yeah. It's working.
Is it working now? Awesome.
Give me my bike back.
You're all about mics.
Sorry, Máté bácsi.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is that, you talked a lot about how the market sentiment was going and the marketing and what was sort of a calling word in the market. You guys know me, I'm a product guy. I don't really care about that. But what I do care about it is product and technology. And if you look at the metaverse industry as a whole from like 2021, when Facebook renamed themselves Meta, that was the whole thing that kickstarted this whole shenanigans. And then you look at the following year, bear market came, but what was the single most important hurdle that the industry as a whole faced? It was complexity and the high costs of development, because building the metaverse is fucking expensive. Meta showed that,
that's true.
right? They burned billions of dollars and then it just kind of failed. Because why? Because it's so complex. It's a long-term project. The metaverse, as we imagined it 2 years ago, will probably be built in the next 10 to 15 years. But it's still it has an insurmountable cost to build it, because there's just so many moving parts to it. And we're talking about rebuilding the internet as we know it. And if you've been following my Twitter, you can see that the different technologies that I've been sharing, you can see that new AI-powered technologies simplify and decrease development costs by 100x, 1,000x, 10,000x. And this is why focusing on AI is important. Because 2 years ago, when we were talking about one thing that I hate as a topic is like 3D in the metaverse, but you needed 3D engineers, developers, Unreal Engine 5, you needed hardware, you needed designers, you needed hundreds and thousands of man hours just to design and build stuff. And now if you look at the NVIDIA Omniverse project, you can literally prompt an entire engine that works on Unreal 5, and you literally just send a prompt to an AI that says, create a warehouse with common items that can be found in a warehouse, and it's 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and bring me 50 different items in that warehouse randomly allocated. Click on a button, and in less than a minute, you get it. Before that, it would have cost you like a week or 2 weeks of design work. Now it's less than a minute. That kind of radical improvement is what's going to actually make the metaverse possible. And us focusing on AI means that by ensuring that we have access to these technologies from the get-go, through educating a new generation of AI consultants who will get direct reach and access to those companies that develop these technologies, those companies that use these technologies, we are not only making a market for ourselves, but we also get into a strategic advantage to integrate these radical cost reduction enabling technologies in the long run. Because these AI consultants will bring us the best tech that can be integrated into the metaverse before anybody else. And this is why it's really important, because just like in 2011, when Mark Andreessen said that software is eating the world and every company is becoming an internet company, today I think it's safe to say that every company is becoming an AI company. And metaverse companies are not an exception from that.
And to extend that, I would like to point out that AI companies are... Oh, by the way, do you see how we are not saying artificial intelligence after AI anymore? Because everybody knows what AI is.
Yeah, everybody
It's
knows.
like, yeah, but half a year ago, when you said AI, you had to say that.
Yeah, I had to
I
say
mean
it. Yeah, I
artificial
remember
intelligence.
it.
I just pointed that out. Cool. So AI companies are Web 2 companies, right? But
now.
next to us is a Web 3 company. We will have Naos. Naos is under development. We're going to be talking about that later. But that means that if we go into, especially with education and different type of consultancy, into the AI business, we will be able to deliver to them a competitive advantage with Web3 technology. And as we see that there is a fierce competition in the AI sector, as I just said, that is like the bullish part of crypto, like 2022 or beginning of 2022 or 2021. We see that Web3 and introducing Web3 is going to be a competitive advantage in this fierce competition. And if we can do that with introducing Neos to these companies, then obviously we already have our use case for Neos.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if we would be launching Neo, like, sorry guys to say that, and I don't want to jump too much forward, but if we would have launched Neos like a month ago, everybody would have said like, okay, that milestone is ticked.
What
But
now?
what now?
Yeah.
No companies.
I mean,
Like, nobody's interested.
I can give you a very specific example to kind of connect the dots, but I think many of you guys have already seen videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. How eerily well can AI replicate human voice, human video, human anything, right? Like, to 90% of the human population, ChatGPT can pass the Turing test. That's fucking crazy.
That's sick.
Right? So, like, for 90% of the human population, the current AI technology can actually pass as a human being, which means that proving that you're human has become infinitely difficult. So, tell me, do you know of a great technology that could solve the problem of authentication and identity in a way that cannot be cheated, cannot be hacked, cannot be broken?
NFT, dynamic NFTs on Neos.
And now you can start
That's the
seeing
solution.
the connection, right? That's what's happening, that AI brings us to a world where authenticating yourself as a human becomes almost impossible unless you have an NFT-based identity. This is not what we are having right now. This is the world we're going to live in a year or in 2 years.
In a year,
or
not
in
a
3
decade.
years. No,
In 1-2
definitely
years.
not in a decade.
I mean, imagine 2024 US elections. Can you imagine the waste of deep fake that's going to be on the internet?
it's going to be crazy.
And it's not just miscommunication or disinformation. It's going to be like real hardcore deep fake and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that needs to be authenticated somehow.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of Neos, to make that whole development so easy that any company can just start creating, even governments, organizations can start creating their own applications using dynamic NFTs to ensure the security of their use cases.
For instance, ProMaster.com is going to be giving its certificates on NFTs. And
Yeah.
by the way, we launch dynamic NFTs on Neos. They are going to be switching to dynamic NFTs
Yeah.
on Neos. That means that if a few hundred or a few thousand, a few 10,000 people do this, then they are going to be actively using Neos. They don't even have to know about they are using
And they
Neos,
won't
but
be
they are
knowing
going to
about
be
it.
using Neos. And those certificates will be updatable if you do the next course, or it's going to be your personal GitHub, basically.
Yeah.
Your prompt list is going to be there. Your future employee is going to be able to see on your job listing like what your core competencies your core competencies are, or the software monitoring the operations of that company will be able to see that you are the perfect fit for that company based on your prompts and stuff like that. Like this with Web3 is going to
we
be
did say them that we are
big.
going to talk about
not
AI
going to
in it.
talk about. So I'm going to give you over the word with Neos.
But before that, can you pass me the bottle of water, please? I just had to do it.
No,
Sorry,
yeah, I know
had
you had to do it. That's why I put it that way, not that way.
I know. Okay.
Okay, also pass it to me too.
Okay, so what's our next topic?
Yeah, Neos.
Should it
Like
be
what's
Neos?
going on? Because many asked, and they asked it rightfully, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so
Give me the bottle.
yeah. Okay, so moment of truth comes because, as most of you know, Neos has been postponed quite a few times, and it's as we already said it very often. It's a very complicated, very foundational product, and many people in the community expressed concerns about the pace of development, especially some OG members. And I think I just want to take this opportunity to take responsibility for that. Because while there were loads of unforeseen challenges during the development so far, the responsibility for developing lies ultimately with me as Chief Product Officer. So this is the moment to say that I wasn't doing a very good job at managing this, the expectations or managing the development of Neos. And because of that, I apologize to you guys, to the entire Next Earth team, and also to the Next Earth community for this mistake.
But I also want to jump in that it's not just on you, because we are working like next to each other with two desks, and we always discuss everything. And as I said, we realize that AI is big. We have to go into it, and our minds had to be put into it.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, as I said, Neos is like freaking important. But what's even more important is that when Neos is launched, there is going to be life on Neos and use cases. And AI is going to deliver these use cases far better than any of the Web3 or used to be Web2 projects would have delivered.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of, yes, it was kind of a mistake maybe, or not communicated rightly. But honestly, the structure and the strategy, I don't think it's on the long term is going the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think we're going in the right direction, but this is something that I think you guys all deserve, to have that kind of moment of transparency and responsibility, and most importantly, accountability from my end.
Yeah,
and
different
also,
timing.
because of this, we decided to rethink and kind of restructure the whole development process of Neos, and find the right partners and approach that partnership with the right kind of mindset and the required transparency to kind of there. If we're churning through multiple development partners for the same project, then there is only one common denominator. So we looked at what that common denominator was and resolved that issue. So we're happy to share with you that we found a solution that enables us to bring you the best possible version of Neos in the shortest possible time. And we are excited to announce a collaboration with a reputable ID development company called King ID Solutions. These guys have offices in Europe, in Southeast Asia, in the UK, and they're going to finish and speed up development of the Next Earth operating system. They have extensive experience with Web3 development, and I'm pretty confident that with their proven expertise and successful track record in Web3 projects, while they're also going to work closely with both me and our lead IT architect, Neos can be enhanced beyond our initial expectations. And just to give you a couple ideas, a few notable projects that King IT Solutions did in the past were like Pixtazy.io, which is a smart contract and minting and NFT minting dApp, which is pretty close to what we're doing. There was Lucky Coin World NFT, which was a lottery ecosystem and casino, which basically they're able to leverage their expertise of building entire ecosystems. They built Hamster Swap, They also built the Goma Finance token and the entire ecosystem and the Bitcoin TAF token. So as you guys can see, the guys over at King IT are incredibly experienced in doing similar projects than what we are trying to achieve, but they also can really easily connect to the technical challenges that we're trying to solve. And most importantly, they will have a dedicated veteran product manager that will oversee the development of this project full time, which means that I can just supervise the work as CPO and not be fully responsible for it on a daily operational basis, which means that the main bottleneck is being removed. And I think in the next couple of weeks, you will start seeing the results of that, because I'm planning of sharing more and more development updates. What we're getting from them, we're going to share with you guys so you can see how the development is going. And they're incredibly talented. I love the work that they're doing. I love the methodical approach to development that they're doing. It's incredibly I don't know. It's just
it's
amazing.
a different level.
It's in a different
Let's
level.
put it that way.
Yeah. So that's about Neos, and
Also mention what like kind of shows what Neos can be used for in a game style, in a gameish manner, with a gamified example, the treasure hunt.
Okay, the treasure
hunt. I
hunt.
think it was kind of introduced to the community already, so you don't have to go into details, just like perspective.
Okay, so I don't want to go into like the deep details. So like this live is not the place. It just goes beyond the scope of this live to kind of go into the specifics of how the treasure hunt works. We will reveal the exact details of how the resources system works and how the treasure hunt game will work. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna help with that, because your Mac is very valuable to us, all of us. You guys too. So this may have been $1 million move there.
Anyway, so to avoid any confusion, we will communicate these details in a written format. The team is already working on that post, so you will be able to follow that through and not rely on the live. Most importantly, the resources MVP that you've seen and also the treasure hunt game is planned to go live up until the end of Q2 2023. And the whole primary purpose of both of these projects built on Neos are to demonstrate that in a tangible way how companies and different brands could engage in different kinds of activities on Next Earth with this platform's advanced technology and the NXTT-based ecosystem. Because as we always keep saying, what we basically give to companies is a plug-and-play gamification engine that's powered by Neos, that's powered by our token NXTT. Now, you can imagine brands launching their own treasure hunt games, their own resources, crafting their own equipment for games or applications, and just reaching out to different ecosystems, all powered by Neos, offering real-life prizes and utilizing NXTT, and it's all based on the dynamic NFT technology. So what you can see is that like a gazillion puzzle pieces are coming together, but what we are really giving away are not just examples, but the containers, and then we can go to any company. You can go as ambassadors, you can go to any company and say, hey, do you want your own treasure hunt? Because you can on Neos. So before the end of Q2 this year, we're going to release the Resources MVP and the Treasure Hunt game for you guys to try and start getting an idea of how this will work and how this will look like. And yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of other notes on just how the Treasure Hunt will work, but these guys made me promise not to go into deep details on how that will work. But I can just, tell you, I cannot fucking wait to start hunting for different kinds of resources and then start crafting equipment. It's
we should actually we should be banned like when the map started at the beginning, so that it doesn't take competitive
we probably
disadvantage.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, we are surely gonna touch on a few more topics.
Yeah, but these were the main.
Let's jump into Discord and YouTube and see some questions. so we can be entering the next half hour with questions that
the first
community
question, I
members
just popped it up and I can see that. Can we say that launching the game is play to earn? It's more than that. It's basically a play to earn engine. Treasure hunt game is a kind of play to earn game, but then through Neos, even you can launch your own play to earn game that's based in the Next Earth ecosystem, Zach. You can do it. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here.
Which room are you going in on?
I'm in the general chat.
Between general and NXTT. Somebody is showing he's driving his Tesla, and the Nexters is going under it. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm also jumping. Last time I've seen somebody asking, like, everybody says that AI is cool. Like, nobody's saying, like, why are you dealing with AI? But I've seen a few questions about why exactly Prom Master was kind of put above the rest of the projects. And I may not have been clear on that at the beginning, that with Prom Master, we figured out that by taking those users who want to learn to use AI, and that's actually pretty easy, to be honest, compared to any type of programming language and stuff like that, those people can be taken through a funnel which was planned by this genius here. And by the end of that, let's say, educational trip, the individual will be able to decide if they want to create their own software and become a founder in a company, launch their product at Nexters AI Labs, and integrate Web3 into their services right away. And this point is the essential, because if somebody launches their Web2 AI-based product on Nexters AI Labs, you can imagine that there is basically an open doorway into Web3 for them, and obviously they are going to be using Neos.
Yeah.
Because it's directly connected. So this way we will be able to create basically a factory line with companies that are going to be right away integrating into Neos, into Web3, and gaining that advantage compared to their competition. And we will be, based on these, able to reach out to other Web2 AI companies to also onboard them, to give them these competitive advantage, which by the time we will be able to show in numbers, in videos and tutorials and everything. Like, that's going to be kind of the easy.
Those are going to be the low-hanging fruits.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Low-hanging fruits. For me, after the last 1 year, it's the easy part.
There are a couple other questions, a few questions that I would love to answer, but I also will. So one of the thing is, what about the ambassador program? So creating the ambassador program required a course that's now ready, and I think it's uploaded already. And the ambassador program will also switch gears in the second quarter of this year as Neos and Resources and Treasure Hunt launch approaches. That's when the ambassador program will also kind of kick in, and you will start getting a bunch of more information about that, because again, like, that part is done. And we can start kind of feeding you guys with the information. The other thing apart from the ambassador program is about marketing and PR. I know it's everybody's pet peeve, and this is something that I'm really happy to share with you guys. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. So there is an international but US focused PR campaign with a New York-based PR agency that's about to launch pretty soon, starting in May, June, that are going to be focusing on Neos as the foundational product, but also on our partnership with Prom Master to kind of leverage and seize the opportunity that's being presented by artificial intelligence. And these guys are big heavy hitters. And we're going to take the US by storm, and by proxy we're also going to conquer the entire world. So again, PR and marketing is coming, and we are going to be in the media
Can I ask why the glasses?
What? Because it's cool.
Oh, okay. I just fucked it up with that question, right? I'm sorry,
You
bro.
did.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You walked right into that.
That was so disappointing. I asked that, right? You
bit.
seen something big coming, but this wasn't the bounce down. Okay. All right, and let me also...
Because you're going to be looking at media appearances of us so often that the monitor of your laptop will start burning your eyes out, so you will need to wear sunglasses.
I know that there's been a few occasions when we already said that. Not this exact, like we know with whom we're gonna work and how. Like he already knows about the stuff and everything, so it's on rolling. But what is very important to know that we were always able to decide to say like, okay, now we can spend $50,000 or $100,000 on PR. But honestly, there were no real reason to do it because I tell you a very simple equation, which was true for the last 1 year. If Bitcoin is above $50,000, you spend $1,000 and $2,000 comes in. If Bitcoin is between $40,000 to $50,000, you spend $1,000 and it's a ROI zero basically. It just comes back in return, $1,000. So it's good for expansion. If Bitcoin is less than 40K or even less than 30K, if you spend $1,000, you're gonna have income of $200 or $300. And when Bitcoin was beyond 20, I think that was maybe even around 100. So like 10% of your initial investment was coming back.
I think if we did kind of if we did some calculations and compare marketing ROI with Bitcoin price versus all-time high, because what you're saying hasn't just been true for the last year, it has always been true, right?
Yeah.
Like when I started 7 years ago, and then, I don't know, Bitcoin was like $500, it was exact same thing. If you go like less than 40% versus the all-time high, ROI goes negative. Doesn't matter what you do. And that's basically, you need to start spending millions and millions of dollars just to break even. That's just, economies of scale goes through the roof.
And yeah, and that's exactly like, it wasn't like we cannot do or we are not capable of doing marketing or PR. It's just, it's meaningless. It's pointless to do it. It's just a waste of money and energy, basically. That's why they say in the bear market, heads down and development and work. When there is a bull cycle, you go out and harvest. Marketing, sales, all of these is about harvesting. And what I say, and I promise, this is the last time I'm gonna talk about AI now. But what I see as a business strategist is that it is harvest season in AI. And that's why I want to onboard AI ASAP to Next Earth, because it can not just pull NEOS with itself, but it can also pull the ambassadors or the community. Because with Prom Master, I think we already mentioned, you will be able to do work to earn basically. With any type of development we would launch out in Web3. We have seen it. It's just not going to be bringing that positive ROI. It's that part of the market. But AI is still hot. And that's why if we can integrate AI with Web3 and with Prom Master, that is exactly what we are doing, and we will be focusing more and more on it. And with Prom Master,
I just wanted to say this.
Okay, you can go ahead.
It is harvest season in AI, said this beautiful gentleman just now. What a beautiful analogy.
Nice. Was that your AI?
Yeah.
Okay, that's bullish.
Good.
Okay, so point made. We can go to the next step.
Sorry, carry on.
Now, so what is really important is that with PromMaster.com we started this Work to Earn program, and actually we we signed up for, as a company, as Next Earth, we signed up for the referral system of PromMaster. And everybody who is working in Next Earth, this gentleman here included, myself included, we are basically referrals of Next Earth. And whoever we are going to be spreading the news out, and they are going to be using PromMaster because they have this referral ecosystem. It's basically like Web3 kind of distributional method. The income that Next Earth is going to be receiving is going to be spent on NXTT, on buying NXTT from the market and burning it. And that is, I think, a very, very important thing because you can make money from it on a market that is basically in a coma and we are just developing in the background. But we were able to bring something that can make you active. And if you just put your time and energy into it, it's going to be feeling like the bull market itself. I don't want to go more into the details. You are going to hear a lot about that. But the sooner you wake up, the sooner you start looking into it, just deep dive into it for a few hours, it's going to be worth it. Okay, that's my last thing about PromMaster and AI for now. But there's a reason I'm talking about it that much, believe me. I'm usually 3 months in the future.
Okay. There is a question about the ETA for NEOS and...
It's a hard one. Let me see your answer.
So
that was also my question in the office for today.
We're gonna do this the right way this time. So what I just had a conversation today with Edward from King IT, and the conversation was basically they gave us an initial plan of how they wanted to build the rest of NEOS, and I told them, look, I would like you guys to actually do the full discovery, write the technical specifications first. Because we will be able to share that with you guys. And once we have the full technical specifications, then we will actually have a more accurate estimate on the ETA. Because this time around, we want to avoid going into that kind of loop of having sort of vague estimates of when we're going to finish development and then go into one rabbit hole after the other and then just postpone the launch date because we find this, we find that, and then we just need to go in and do more development. So what's going to happen is that in the next couple of weeks, we're going to complete discovery, have technical specifications. Then obviously, apart from the proprietary part of that specification, we're going to prepare a documentation for you guys to read and also see that, this is how this is going to look like. And alongside with that, you're going to know what's the estimate that we get from them on development. And whenever there is, we're probably going to do weekly or bi-weekly sprints, and then whenever there is update on that development, whatever we get as information, we're going to pass that on to you guys through our announcements and blog posts. So you will see exactly how the development is going. Transparency is going to be leveled up in that because these guys are working at a completely different level, and I want to see and want you guys to see the whole process.
Yeah, I'm also reading what the guys are saying. If I have to touch on anything, because they again said that they would like to wish this as a maximum 45-minute live.
Oh, okay.
And I think we basically discussed the two things because AI and NEOS, and whoever wanted to ask some details, basically about marketing, the treasure hunt stuff, and all of these little details, those were basically touched upon. Next live? Okay, that seems like an end.
Next live?
Okay, next live is going to be approximately a month from now, around the end of May.
End of May. Okay.
End of May. And
so we're going to get into that habit again?
We're going to go into that habit again.
Okay.
First of all, it's summertime. And secondly, I have my bear market beard.
Bear dish.
And hopefully I'm going to get rid of this by the next live. Bear dish. Shit. Okay, you gave my sunglasses prank back. All right, so guys,
I cannot cut my hair any shorter, so I don't know what I should do, but you do you, bro.
Thank you very much for surviving today's live with us. and meet you in around 1 month's time. Hang in there and take a look where you can get your activity inside of Next Earth, because in the upcoming days and weeks, even though it's still a bear market on the crypto market, with some AI spice, I think we can spice up your day.
I'm still looking for a word joke, but
No. This
just gonna
spice
let
was
it go.
weak enough to let it go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Take care, guys.
See you guys.